So it's another beautiful day here. It's 3 days after Leslie's birthday. I've put it together, some videotape of her birthday to go with a blog post I wrote. It was sort of a transformational experience for us this birthday. We've always looked for new ways to celebrate holidays in a more sahaj way, a more natural way. Trying to see whether the holidays themselves, the actual history behind the holidays, and the actual intentions behind the rituals and whatever goes along with the birthday are consistent, are congruent with how we want to conduct our lives. And oftentimes when you realize what's behind these things, it's not so great, or it's not something that you actually endorse. But sometimes when you research, or you sort of meditate or pray on the subject, you find that there actually was something better intended for, say, a holiday or a birthday celebration or whatever sort of ritual. There's always some reason behind why people do things the way they do them. And so I have some footage. The kids wanted me to tape their play. Anna and Faith adapted Leslie's favorite children's book, Pele's New Suit. So I've had Leslie read the book yesterday to the kids inside the barns. So the plays might not be so understandable, not so clear, because of the fact that the kids are using little finger puppets and their voices are maybe not, you can't really understand what they're saying. So I had to read the book so people would understand, what the play was about. But I have the play, Leslie reading the play, and then other events from Leslie's birthday on tape. But I can just say it was a beautiful. The weather turned here. It was cold. It was winter-like weather, and then we had we've had a week now, or since Leslie's birthday, since last day in October, the weather got to about 60 degrees in the 60s this week, and it's not freezing at night, and that was up from the previous few weeks. So we just had sort of a respite now before the winter comes, and I can say that her birthday, there was just something special about the day. Some days you wake up and you just know the day's going to be good or go well, and you feel, confident, strong, or a sense of well-being. And, in athletics, it's called like being in the zone, or you feel like you can do no wrong. And that was just the way Leslie's birthday was, and it was a big deal for both her and I. We like the direction that her birthday went, and it's going to affect the other ways that we celebrate holidays and birthdays within the family. Specifically to do with the kids, creating intentions of I say wishes is a bad word, but almost like a prayer, or a start of a blueprint of something that they know someone else needs in the family, and start the business of using your will force and your heart and your spirit to help create that for that person, and taking an interest in that person, the loved one in the family. And that's really what the blog post is about at pocketsofthefuture.com blog. And this video is a sort of supplemental video to that blog post. But I think it's worth other people considering as well. We feel like it's a step in the right direction for us in terms of moving from a desire-based consumerism existence to a more needs-based, needs-only based existence. Taking only what you need, and knowing that your needs will be taken care of, and you work for your needs, but you don't necessarily get to have your desires or what you wish. Desires are infinite as part of the philosophy of our spiritual practice, Sajmark spiritual practice, that desires are infinite, but needs are a finite subset, I guess, of desires that people all can have their needs met. There's enough resources and there's enough to go around the world that every creature, every being can have their needs, their needs met. But there isn't enough resources for everyone to have their desires met. So this is the rest of the video will be following this. Leslie reading the book and the other stuff.
Pele's New Suit, written and illustrated by Elsa Beskow. There was once a little Swedish boy whose name was Pele. Now Pele had a lamb which was all his own and which he took care of all himself. The lamb grew and Pele grew, and the lamb's coat grew longer and longer, but Pele's coat only grew shorter. One day Pele took a pair of shears and cut off all the lamb's wool. Can you see the pictures? Yeah. Then he took the wool to his grandmother and said, "Granny dear, please card this wool for me." "That I will, my dear," said Granny, "if you will pull the weeds in my carrot patch for me." So Pele pulled the weeds in Granny's carrot patch, and Granny carded Pele's wool.
You know what those are, huh, you guys? You guys have just done that recently.
Right in front of the fire, too, just like we
Fire.
did. Then Pele went to his other grandmother and said, "Grandmother dear, please spin this wool into yarn for me." "That I will gladly do, my dear," said his grandmother, "if while I am spinning you will tend my cows for me." Look at this huge basket of the carded wool. And so Pele tended grandmother's cows, and grandmother spun Pele's yarn.
That's what you drew, huh, Faith? You get up right there.
Then Pele went to a neighbor who was a painter and asked him for some color with which to dye his yarn. "Oh, what a silly little boy you are," laughed the painter. "My paint is not what you want to color your wool. But if you will row over to the store to get a bottle of turpentine for me, you may buy yourself some dye out of the change from the money." So Pele rode over to the store and bought a bottle of turpentine for the painter, and bought for himself a large sack of blue dye out of the change from the money. Then he dyed his wool himself until it was blue all through. And then Pele went to his mother and said, "Mother dear, please weave this yarn into cloth for me." "That I will gladly do," said his mother, "if you will take care of your little sister for me." So Pele took good care of his little sister, and mother wove the wool into cloth. See the sweet little toys she has? See some wooden spools on a string, and pine cones, and a wooden spoon, and a doll. Then Pele went to the tailor. "Dear Mr. Tailor, please make a suit for me out of this cloth." "Is that what you want, you little rascal?" said the tailor. "Indeed I will, if you will rake my hay and bring in my wood and feed my pigs for me." So Pele raked the tailor's hay and fed his pigs. And then he carried in all the wood, and the tailor had Pele's suit ready that very Saturday evening. And on Sunday morning, Pele put on his new suit and went to his lamb and said, "Thank you very much for my new suit, little lamb." "Bah!" said the lamb, and it sounded almost as if the lamb were laughing.